Hello Stampin' friends. Today I am going to do a quick little fun fold card. I participated in a card making seminar by several other demonstrators who are fantastic, and this was one of the cards they presented. Of course, they were using different stamp sets and different designer series paper, but this one was demonstrated by a gal named Julie Heitz, and I'll put her information on my blog so that you can go and see some of the wonderful stuff that she does. But since I don't do very many fun fold cards, I really enjoyed doing this one because it's kind of simple, yet it's easy to do and it's a little bit different. So let's get started and I'll kind of show you how I did this. Maybe we might end up backing this up a little bit. I'll see here. So I'm going to just kind of set this to the side. Let me make this a little bit larger there. We can kind of see a little bit more what's going on. Okay, first off, I started with an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet of heavier cardstock for my card base because I'm going to be stamping directly on this. So I wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be any bleed through. Then of course I scored it at 4 1/4. So let me go ahead and do this right now. And since I'll be stamping on it, that's why I decided to use a little bit heavier cardstock. Then the next thing you can take some type of designer series paper, whatever you like. I, of course, am still using this hand-penned designer series paper, which thank goodness this will be the last of it. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's great paper, but I'm pretty much tired of it by now. So what I did is you're going to need to take this. This is, of course, at 4 1/4 by 5.5. I want to go ahead and turn it on the long side here, and right in the middle, I want to go down about 2 inches. So let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger again. It might be too big, but you can kind of see. So I am going to put this right at 2 3/4 because that would be where the half of that is. If you can also see right here, I have put a little piece of washi tape, and that's at the 2-inch mark. I found out that it's easier for me to be able to move my cutting blade up here by the 2-inch mark, right about there. Although you don't have to be perfect, it can be there. And then I just slid it right up. And now I have my little 2-inch thing right in the middle. Very easy to do. Let me do this. Okay, now the fun part starts, and we're going to fold this back. So as you can see here on this one, I want to fold it back this way. And this is where kind of sometimes it's get tricky. I use my bone folder and kind of went from corner to where the slit ends and just kind of pulled it up there a little bit to give me a little bit of easing that up there. And then I went ahead and I'm pretty close, not too bad off. I was trying to get the point right at the point. I'm off a little bit, but that won't matter. Take my bone folder. Same thing here. I'm going to start about right there. It just made it easier when I used my bone folder to pull this up and kind of get it at the right space that I needed it. And then once again, I'm going to push that down. And there we go. We've got the front of our card. Let me move some of this over. Now, I'm going to lay this on here, and we're going to pretend that this one is cut a little bit shorter, or my card base is cut a little bit higher. I'll end up trimming that off just to make it even. So let me, in fact, just do that now. Just trim off a little bit, because that's going to bug me. You know how that goes. So I'm just going to trim off just a little bit of the bottom of this card base. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, move that out of the way. Alrighty. Now let me put it up here and see. Oh yeah, better fit. Okay, I'm just going to pretend for right now that that's where that's going to be. I must have made, this seems to be a little bit wider too, but that's not going to hurt anything. We're going to just not worry about it. Okay, so I've got that kind of laying on there. I want to take my pencil and I'm just going to mark kind of right where this is going to go. Take my pencil up there, my pencil here. If I end up taking a little bit off the side, that'll be fine. So now I have my pencil mark, and this is where I'm going to stamp. So let me move this over to the side. I'll bring my other card back in so you can see kind of what it is. So I'm going to stamp my image here, and I used, of course, as you know, I like to use now some of my stuff I haven't used for a while. I am using the Simply Soft stamp set by Stampin' Up! Because I wanted something that was fairly tall and long just to fit in this area. And then for the Thinking of You, I'm using my little ladybug and the little staying in there of Thinking of You. So just so you can see where I got those. But of course you can use any stamp set that you have that has a kind of tall image that you're looking for. I am going to stamp this in Basic Gray. I like this better, let me move some of this stuff out of the way, than the black, just because I wanted a little bit softer tone to it than what I was getting otherwise. Let me put some more paper down here, because you know me, I like to ink up first and then kind of practice somewhere to make sure that I've got the ink everywhere that I need it. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to bring my paper over here. And then I just want to put it right inside. If my head gets in the way, I apologize. Let me move that up a little bit. And right inside my little pencil marks there, so I know where I'm going with this. Give it a good push. And there we go. Now for the next piece, I'm going to take some Daffodil Delight. And this was a two-step stamping project. So now I'm going to take this. Ooh, this fell off. You need to stick that baby right back on there pretty good. Give it a good stick. And I'm using my Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to stamp over that if I can figure out which way this goes. Looks like that's pretty close. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to stamp a little bit on here. Since it's not a photopolymer stamp set, you know, you're always just kind of going to guess. And we'll see how I did. Oh, I did pretty good. And if you want, you can always ink it up again, stamp off. And if you feel like you didn't get it very well and you want to try again or do something else, you can always just kind of give it a little bit more like that. Okay, great. I'm going to move this over to the side, take this away. Now the other thing that I did too is I took one of my watercolor pencils. Just depends on which one you want to use. I was trying to kind of match this Designer Series paper. So I just picked a watercolor pencil that had the green that looked kind of like it. I don't know, let's try this one. Let me do up here. Yeah, not bad. And then I was just going to add this in. I'm not really going to use it as far as watercoloring goes. I'm just using it as the pencil. I like doing that quite a bit. And just quickly do this. You guys really don't need to see me do this, but yeah, what the heck. Okay, so here we go. Kind of got that ready. And now it's really easy from this point on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my glue. I like using glue on this because I want to be able to kind of squish it around. And this way it allows me to be able to move it around a little bit and get it exactly on the card where I want it. And also too, let me go ahead and while I'm thinking about it, go ahead and erase my pencil marks real quick here. Not that you're ever really going to see them, but just in case I move it off of where I originally had it, I know I'm not going to see those pencil marks then. Okay. I'm going to take this and throw her on here. And we'll see how I do. Okay, pretty good. Even it out. Down here a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. Give it a good smoosh. Like that. Okay. Now, I want to keep these down, but I also want to give it a little bit of lift. So I'm going to use my dimensionals. And I'll put one on each side here. Take those off. And that way, I hold them in place, but they don't look so flat, and I like that. Okay, let's find my little Thinking of You and just some white paper here. Get back out my gray. Let me move it back up here a little bit so you can see. Once again, you know me, I like to do this. I got some stuff on there. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of put it right there in the middle, because remember, you always want to stamp before you punch. And I'm using the double oval punch here. See how I did as far as if I might got too low. And if I got too low, I'll just do it again. Yeah, not bad. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and punch that. Now I want to do the yellow, so I got a piece of scrap here. I'm gonna do that. Just punch some out. Okay, got it ready to go. Now let me move the ink out of the way, because you know how it is with ink. You end up with more on you than what you plan to. Get some of my adhesive here. Put it on my scalloped oval. A couple more dimensionals to just kind of add a little bit of something to it. Something, something. And this way, if your point here isn't perfect, it doesn't matter, because you can cover it up pretty easily. And take that paper off of those. Put my thinking of you right about there. Cute, cute, cute. And there we have it. Now also too, I had a little bit of extra paper left over. So of course I'm gonna take some more of my glue again. Kind of just put it down there. And I'm gonna decorate the inside a little bit. And we're gonna just kind of push this down here like this. Now you could have gone along the side. I decided to go up here at the top. Like that. And let me get some scissors. And we'll be able to just trim that off. Oh, let me get it on there a little bit better. That's the good thing about the glue, is I can still move it around a little. I'm gonna trim this off. There we go. Got the inside decorated. My outside looks pretty good. Of course, you always need a little bit of bling. So I'm gonna pull in some old dots here. Just gonna add that. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. And let's pull off some of these dots. Give them a good push. See if I can get some of them off. Come on off. Need my other thing than this. And I'll stick one over here. Another one over here. Should have used the other end of my tool. Maybe one up here. We'll kind of do them a little bit over. And then one more. Kind of like to do the odd numbers. And maybe another one up this way. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so here's my fun fold card. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way so you can really take a good look at it. Move all of my junk. And there we go. Got my fun fold card. This was one I did the same way, just using some different, the same type of paper, same thing, colored it in a little bit differently. And of course, put a little thing on the inside too. So hope you enjoyed this quick video. Not much to it, nice and simple. I think it was a fun way to finally do a fun fold card and keep it simple. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. We'll see y'all later. This is Trina Brower saying bye. Thanks for watching, and keep stamping and scrapping. Bye-bye.